Hello student, this is the third lecture of advanced complex analysis. In previous lecture we have seen the definition of normal, locally boundedness, the Arzuli-Ascoli theorem and the Montel's theorem. In this lecture we are repeating the Montel's theorem for one more time and then start with our next article, species of meromorphic function, from the next lecture. Okay, so Montel's theorem. Okay. Here, the statement of Montel's theorem states that a family script f in h of g, where h of g is the collection of all continuous functions. This is where h of g is the collection of all analytic function, is normal if and only if script f is locally bounded. Okay, we have to show that script f is normal if script f is locally bounded, and conversely that if script f is locally bounded then it is normal. Okay, so proof. In first part we prove that we assume that suppose script f is normal. Okay, and it fails to be locally bounded. Okay, so if script f is normal and but it is not locally bounded, then what is the definition of locally bounded? That supremum of, if f belongs to script f, then supremum of mod of f of z, where z belongs to k and f belongs to script f, then this supremum is less than infinity. Here k is the subset of G, compact set subset of G. Okay, so this is the definition of locally boundedness. Okay, and second one is mod of f of z is less than or equal to m. Okay, these two conditions are of locally boundedness. We can use this one or this one. Okay, so here the given is script f is normal and fails to be locally bounded. So we can say that then there is a compact set. There is a compact set K which is subset of G, such that supremum of mod of f of z, where z belongs to this compact set K and f belongs to script f, is equals to infinity, because we have considered here script f is not locally bounded. So we take here this supremum is equals to infinity. Okay, and also we can say that so there is a sequence. So there is a sequence fn in script f, such that supremum of this fn sequence fn, where z belongs to k, is greater than or equal to n. Okay, we have considered, and we take this as first equation. Okay, we have considered here script f is not locally bounded. So for this subsupremum we can say that there is a n. For this n we get this supremum always greater. Okay, because this is not bounded. So प्रत्येक आपण कुठलाही n घेतला तर त्या प्रत्येक n साठी आपल्याला त्या n पेक्षा एक मोठी व्हॅल्यू इथे मिळेल. ठीक आहे. सो अँड नेक्स्ट also we consider that since script f is normal, what is the definition of normal? That if script f is normal, then there is a sequence whose subsequence, if script f is normal, then for each sequence of script f there is a subsequence which converges to the function in continuous function, collection of continuous function from G to omega. Okay, so we consider here that there is a we consider here function a sequence fn in script f, and we also have script f as normal. So we can say that there is a function, there is function f and f in h of g, okay, and a subsequence fn k. This is the subsequence of this sequence fn such that this subsequence fnk converges to f. This is a definition of normal, which states that each sequence of script f has a subsequence which converges to a function f. Okay, then from this we can say that supremum of this mod fnk minus fnk of z minus f of z, where z belongs to compact set k, converges to 0 as k converges to infinity. Okay, this is our second equation. Okay, how if f and k converges to f, we can say that this mod tends to 0 as k tends to infinity. Okay, and also the supremum of this mod also tends to 0 as k tends to infinity. Okay, now we have f as analytic function. So now f is a analytic function, and k is compact. So we can say that f is bounded over k. So we can say that f is bounded over k. That is mod of f of z is less than or equal to m for each k in z in k. Okay, this is a third equation. बाउंडेड आहे याचाच अर्थ की त्याचा मॉड कोणत्या तरी एका फिक्स नंबरपेक्षा ऑलवेज आपल्याला कमी भेटेल, और फक्त त्या नंबर एवढा किंवा त्याच्यापेक्षा कमी भेटेल, कधीच त्याच्यापेक्षा मोठा भेटणार नाही. ओके, सो दिस इज इट. अँड नाव आता आपण या फर्स्ट इक्वेशनवरनं असं म्हणू शकतो की नाव सुप्रीमम ऑफ मॉड ऑफ एफ एन के of z, where z belongs to k, is greater than or equal to nk. कसं तर बघा इथे एफ एन आहे, इथे सिक्वेन्स एफ एन घेतली आपण म्हणून इथे ग्रेटर दॅन एन घेतलं, आणि इथे एफ एन के आहे म्हणून ह्या ग्रेटर दॅन एफ एन के होईल. ओके, दिस इज फ्रॉम इक्वेशन नाव बाय इक्वेशन 1. ओके, इक्वेशन 1 आहे, ठीक आहे. सो नाव we add and subtract here f and k of z. We here add and subtract f of z in this mod, okay, which is also greater than or equal to nk. And now we separate this mod, which gives us f and k of z minus f of z, where z belongs to compact set k, plus supremum of f of z, mod of f of z, where z belongs to compact set k, is greater than or equal to nk. Okay, but now we have this third equation which gives us mod of f of z is less than or equal to m. Okay, here we have supremum of mod of f of z. Okay, so if mod of f of z is less than or equal to m, then we can also say that supremum of mod of f of z is also less than or equal to m. So we take here m as we put the value m for this supremum, and this we write as it is. Okay, so supremum of mod of f and k minus f of z, where z belongs to k, okay, plus m is greater than or equal to nk. Now taking limit nk tends to infinity on both sides. Okay, on both sides we get limit nk tends to infinity supremum of mod of f and k of z minus f of z, where z belongs to k, plus limit nk tends to infinity m is greater than or equal to limit nk tends to infinity nk. Okay, here we have a limit nk tends to infinity supremum of mod of fnk minus f of z. Okay, so we have this second equation which gives us supremum of mod of fnk minus f of z is tends to 0 as k tends to infinity. So we can say that when k tends to infinity we get supremum of mod of fnk of z minus f of z is tends to 0. Okay, so we get 0 for the whole term, and plus here limit nk tends to infinity m, here m is constant, so this m is as it is greater than or equal to, here limit nk tends to infinity nk is infinity. Okay, so that is we get m is greater than or equal to infinity, which is contradiction because m is a constant number, and we don't get any number which is greater than infinity. So this is not possible, and our assumption that script f is not locally bounded is wrong, and hence script f must be locally bounded. Okay, so this is our first part. We consider that script f is normal and proved that script f is locally bounded. In conversely we consider that script f is locally bounded. Assume script f is locally bounded, and we have to show that script f is normal. Okay, script f is normal. To prove this we use here Arzelo-Ascoli theorem. Okay, Arzelo-Ascoli theorem. ठीक है, which what the Arzelo-Ascoli theorem which states that a set script f which is subset of C of G omega, this is the collection of continuous function from G to omega, is normal if it satisfies following two conditions. Okay, following two conditions. Which are those conditions? These conditions are, first one is for each z in G, the set f of z where f belongs to script f has compact closure in omega. Okay, have compact closure in omega. And the second one is script f is equicontinuous at each point of G. Okay, So here we first have to prove that the Arthur-Ascoli theorem states that script f is normal if it satisfies two conditions. The first one is if each z in G, for each z in G, if the set f of z has compact closure in omega, and second one is script f is equicontinuous at each point of G. Okay, then we can say that script f is normal, and hence we prove the Montel's theorem. Okay, so now for we go step by step. Okay, we first prove that the set f of z has a compact closure in omega. Okay, so we have given that, since we have given that script f is locally bounded. Okay, is locally bounded, and therefore we can say that for each z in G there is a disk about z such that f is uniformly bounded. Okay, f is uniformly bounded in disk. This is again we can say that because this is script f is locally bounded. Okay, so we so we can also from this we can say that in particular we can say that in particular this mod of f of z this set f of z where z belongs f belongs to script f is bounded. Okay, this set of f of z forms a disk about z which is uniformly bounded. Okay, uniformly bounded. So we have this set we have this set f of z is bounded, so we can say that its its closure must be also bounded, because closure is nothing but the intersection of all closed sets. Okay, closure is nothing but the intersection of all closed sets around the which contains a set. Okay, so therefore its closure of f, a set of f of z where f belongs to script f is also locally bounded. Okay, sorry, not locally, it's also bounded. Okay, and also we have, as we have discussed just previously, that closure is nothing but the intersection of all closed sets which contains a given set. Okay, so the intersection of closed sets is again a closed set, so we can say that also closure of f of z is closed subset of G. Okay, and hence as this closure is bounded and also closed subset of G, we can say that from this that closure of f of z where f belongs to script f is a compact set. We have the result for this, that if a set is bounded and closed, then we can say that set is a compact set. Okay, we have shown that closure of f of z is compact. Okay, so hence therefore we can say that therefore for each z in G, the set of f of z where f belongs to script f has a compact closure in G. Okay, and this is nothing but a first condition for the Arzello-Ascoli theorem. Okay, what is the first condition for Arzello-Ascoli theorem? That for each z in G, the set of f of z where f belongs to script f has compact closure in omega. Okay, here omega, here for omega we use G. Okay, so for each z in G, the set of f of z has a compact closure in G. This is a first part of Arzello-Ascoli theorem. Then for the second we consider that let A belongs to G be an arbitrary point. Okay, arbitrary but a fixed. Okay, and let epsilon greater than 0 be given. Okay, then we can say that then in the starting we have considered that script f is locally bounded. So by definition of locally boundedness, we can say that there is an R greater than 0 and M greater than 0 such that this closed ball B with center A and radius R which is subset of G, and mod of f of z is less than or equal to M. This is the condition for locally boundedness. Okay, so and here all z belongs to B of closed ball B of with center A and radius R, and for all f belongs to script f. Okay, this is our fourth equation. Okay, now can we consider a circle mod of f of z which is less than r by 2. Okay, and f belongs to script f. So now by Cauchy integral formula, with gamma of t is equals to a plus r into e to the power it, where t is in between 0 and 2 pi. Okay, so what is the Cauchy integral formula? So the Cauchy integral formula is f of a is equals to 1 upon 2 pi I mod integration over c f of z upon z minus a dz. Okay, this is a Cauchy integral formula. Okay, we use this formula, and for our we use this formula in our proof. Okay, we consider mod of f of a minus f of z. Okay, so in this part of proof we have to show that script f is equicontinuous at each point of G. Okay, so for showing that script f is equicontinuous at each point of G, we have to show that for a minus z less than delta, we get a mod of f of a minus f of z less than epsilon. Okay, this is a condition for the equicontinuity. Okay, we can say that script f is equicontinuous at each point of G if for a minus z less than delta, we get mod of f of a minus f of z less than epsilon. Okay, so here we consider f of a minus f of z. Okay, and we apply the Cauchy integral formula for over this. Okay, so what is our Cauchy integral formula? Our Cauchy integral formula is f of a is equals to 1 upon 2 pi I integration over c f of a upon z minus f of z upon z minus a dz. Okay, so we use this formula over here and we get mod of 1 upon 2 pi I integration over gamma f of w upon w minus a dw minus 1 upon 2 pi I integration over gamma f of w upon w minus z dw. Okay, we now we take 2 pi I common and we get f of w here common. Okay, and also dw as common. Okay, f of w common and 1 upon w minus a minus 1 upon w minus z and here dw. Okay, so we get here mod of I is equals to 1, so we get 2 pi 1 upon 2 pi integration over gamma and mod of f of w into a minus z upon a w minus z dw. Okay, how this comes? Okay, so here we cross multiply w minus z minus w plus a. Okay, upon a minus w minus a into w minus z. Okay, here w and plus w minus w get cancelled and we get a minus z w upon w minus a into w minus z. Okay, now we separate the, when we separate the mod we get less than or equal to sign. Okay, so we again distribute the mod. Okay, so we get mod of f of w mod of a minus z mod of dw upon mod of w minus a mod of w minus z. Okay, so here now less than equal to 1 upon 2 pi. Okay, now we have take here mod of f of z is less than or equal to m. So we use here for mod of f of w as m. Okay, again mod of a minus z as it is, and for mod of w minus a we have here this from equation 5 we have z minus a is less than r by 2. So instead of z we use here w, so we get w minus a is less than r by 2 and also w minus z is also less than r by 2. Okay, and this is our integration of mod of dw. Okay, so is less than, what we get here 2 get cancel. Okay, and we get twice m mod of a minus z upon r pi r square. Okay, and this integration over dw mod of dw is nothing but the integration over circle, and we get we have for this 2 pi r. Okay, so here pi get cancelled with the pi, 1 r get cancelled with this r, and we get 4m upon r a mod of a minus z. Okay, so we get the final answer as f of a minus f of z is less than or equal to 4m upon r is into mod of a minus z. Okay, this is a sixth equation. Okay, now we consider del as less than minimum of r by 2 and r upon 4m epsilon. Okay, so this del is less than minimum of r by 2 and r upon 4m of epsilon. So this gives that it follows that mod of a minus z is less than delta, and from this seventh equation we can say that if we put this mod of a minus z is less than delta, we put this value a minus mod of a minus value of a minus z over here in equation 6, we get mod of f of a minus f of z is less than 4m upon r into delta. But here notice that here all the terms are constant. Okay, here 4 is constant, m is also constant, delta is also constant, and r is also constant. So we denote it with a single quantity epsilon. So we can say that mod of f of a minus f of z is less than epsilon, and hence our conditions for the equicontinuity is satisfied. We get the mod of a minus z is less than epsilon, which gives us mod of f of a minus f of z is less than epsilon. Okay, so we can say that that script f is equicontinuous. So script f is equicontinuous at A, okay, at point A, but A is an arbitrary point. So we can say that, so as A is arbitrary point, so we can say that the script f is equicontinuous at each point of G. Okay, at each point of G, and hence by Arzelà-Ascoli theorem, script f is normal. Script f is normal, and hence the Montel's theorem is proved. Okay, this is the proof for the Montel's theorem. Firstly, we consider that script f is normal, and we show that it is locally bounded. Okay, locally bounded, and in converse we assume that script f is locally bounded, and showed here that it is also normal, and this is the proof of Montel's theorem. Okay, this is all for today's lecture. We start the next new article in the next lecture, that is spaces of meromorphic function. Okay, thank you, have a nice day.